Today, we are pulling back the curtain and going behind the whistle to really explore what it takes to be a great sports official. It's a role we see all the time, but one we hardly ever truly understand. It's a complex art, and it demands way more than just a good pair of eyes. Okay, so let's just dive right in. I want to ask you something. When you picture a referee, what's the single most important tool you think they need to do their job? If you're like most of us, your brain probably went straight to the rule book. And yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, it's their Bible, right? It's the foundation for every single call they make. But what if that's not the whole story? Not even close. This quote from former international referee Utku Ertan, man, it just nails it. It gets right to the heart of what we're talking about. The biggest challenges for a ref, they're not written down in a book. They happen in the heat of the moment, dealing with insane pressure, with conflict, and the whole messy psychology of the game. And that, right there, is why we're going beyond the whistle. Because to really get what separates a decent official from a truly elite one, you have to look past the rules. You've got to look at the art of managing the human side of the game. At the center of all this is a skill called game management. The best way to think about it is as the ref's people skills. This has nothing to do with memorizing rules and everything to do with handling arguments, calming things down, and just managing the chaotic, emotional roller coaster of a high-stakes game. So how does this actually work when the clock is ticking and everyone's screaming? Because managing that chaos in real time is an unbelievable skill. It takes a really deep understanding of how people act under extreme pressure. You know that old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Well, that's what this is all about. It's called paralanguage. For a referee, the nonverbal stuff is often way more powerful than the actual words they use. Your tone, your pitch, the confidence in your voice, that's what sells the call, that communicates authority way better than just shouting the rule. When the pressure really cranks up, officials can fall back on a few different communication styles. You've got your fighters, they're trying to win every single argument. Then you have the dictators, who are all about my way or the highway. Some even become quitters, who get intimidated and just stop making calls. But the best of the best, they're negotiators. They know how to balance their authority with a give-and-take approach that earns respect. To really see what happens when these skills just totally collapse, let me tell you about a story from Utku Ertan's career, the Willy Brinkman Cup Finals. This was a game that taught him a lesson he would never, ever forget. So what was the problem? The core of it was that the referees weren't a team. It was every man for himself. They were being selfish, making calls in each other's zones, stepping on each other's toes. They completely forgot that refereeing is a team sport too. And the result of all that? The game just completely unraveled. It stopped being about the players, and it turned into a contest to see which ref could blow their whistle the loudest and the most often. It became one of the worst experiences of his career and a huge lesson that teamwork for the officials is everything. So if a referee isn't just a rule enforcer, what are they? I love this metaphor. Think of them as an orchestra conductor. They have to feel the rhythm of the game. They have to know exactly when to step in and calm things down. And just as importantly, when to step back and just let the musicians play. One bad whistle at the wrong time can throw the whole performance off. Now, nobody is born with this ability. It's something that's built over a long time through this really fascinating inner journey of personal growth that every single official has to go on. And that journey pretty much always happens in these 4 stages. First, you're at unconscious incompetence. You're so new, you don't even know what you're doing wrong. Then comes conscious incompetence. That's the painful part where you know you're making mistakes. You work hard, you get to conscious competence. You can do it right, but you have to think about every single step. And then finally, you reach unconscious competence. And that final stage, that's where the magic is. That's where making the right call in the right moment becomes completely second nature. It's instinct. And that mastery frees up their mind, so they're not just seeing fouls anymore. They're able to choose. Does blowing the whistle right now actually help the game? Or should I let it go for the sake of the flow? That's the art. Okay, so what does an official who has reached that peak actually look like? What are the specific things that define the absolute best in the business? It's this incredible combination of traits. We're talking a mastery of the game that rivals the best coaches. Unbreakable focus in the middle of chaos, the fearless courage to make a tough call that's going to make 50,000 people hate you, and the mental resilience to make a mistake and forget about it 1 second later. And of course, tying it all together are those amazing communication skills we've been talking about. I mean, that's a heck of a list of qualities, right? Which brings up the big question. How does anybody actually get there? What's the secret sauce for becoming one of these elite, respected officials? Well, the answer isn't some secret formula. It's actually something much more profound. It's a relentless, career-long commitment to just getting better every single day. It's not a destination you reach. It's a constant, never-ending process of learning and growing. And there's a really crucial point here, which referee supervisor Don Steppenchef puts perfectly. This journey isn't about beating yourself up all the time. It's about positive growth. Yeah, you have to see your weaknesses, but you also have to appreciate how far you've come and celebrate that progress along the way. In the end, I think the entire mindset of an elite official comes down to this one simple, powerful phrase. You are only as good as the last game you refereed. What you did last season or even last week doesn't matter. The only thing that counts is your performance right now. That's the mentality that keeps them humble, keeps them hungry, and keeps them reaching for perfection. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're watching a game, try to look beyond the obvious calls. Look for the game management. Watch the communication. See if you can feel how the ref is controlling the tempo. Look for the conductor of the orchestra. What hidden skills are you going to see now?